Hi. So this is another installment in releasing or relaxing the shoulders, and probably will also help your neck and your upper back. And so you're going to need a mat and a relatively hard surface. Although if you need to do this one in bed, I think you can still get a lot of assistance and help out of this particular one in bed as well. So come on down to lie. So lying on your back. Take a moment to make sure that your head is supported appropriately, which might mean placing a towel underneath it in order to bring it up so that the chin and the forehead are parallel to the floor. In my case, I maybe could use a tiny amount, but it's going to be hard to put that tiny of amount in, so I'm going to leave it just as it is. And then take a moment to maybe close your eyes if that's comfortable and just tune into your contact with the ground. Particularly compare your sensation in your left shoulder blade, its size, its weight, its shape as it lies on the ground, to the other shoulder blade. Its size, its shape, its weight. Notice how you have the arms lying beside the body. One arm might be closer, further away. You might have an elbow bent. The palms might be up, in or out or down. And again, it's likely different between right or left. So being able to begin to attend to these kinds of differences is really key in growing your awareness and therefore healing and change. And also notice something about the weight of your head on the ground and how your pelvis is lying. And then if you like, you could continue to do this with your legs stretched out long, but many people will probably prefer to have their feet in standing. And you could even play with doing it both ways and see how that changed your experience of it. I suggest that you start with your dominant arm. Mine happens to be left, and it's also really good for this camera angle. And most of you will probably start with your right. And just begin to bring your arm up into the air. So nothing harsh, nothing quick, just nice, slow, floating it up into the air. Let it rest on the shoulder blade so that you're not kind of artificially elevating it to begin with. I'm also not pushing it back, so neither pushing back or elevated, it's just resting whatever its current capacity is. And the hand can be relatively soft. Now begin to reach towards the ceiling and then slowly lower back down. Take a moment's pause before you reach again and then slowly lower. What you might be able to notice is as you reach, the shoulder blade is sliding away from the spine. As you release, it's getting a little bit closer. As you reach, the shoulder blade is sliding out on ribs. There's ribs underneath the shoulder blade. Maybe you can feel and differentiate in your sensation between that. The shoulder blade and then something that's on top of it in this position that is sliding, gliding over. It's kind of bony. Those are your ribs. And then also you might be able to notice that the collarbone itself is moving. You can even bring your hand up to touch yourself at the collarbone so you can feel real clearly maybe the attachment at the breastbone, the attachment out at the shoulder blade, and feel how the collarbone is moving as you lift and you lower. Okay, so let that go. Bring your arm back down. Just come to resting for a moment. Taking an easy breath or two without controlling the breathing. And then float your arm back up into the air. We're going to change it a little bit this time. Still, it's resting on the ground to start off with. It's still looking for a relatively easily stacked place that doesn't feel to me like I have to work. If I have my arm, for example, up here, I'm going to have to really work to hold it. If I have it out here, I'm going to have to really work to hold it. So there's a place in here somewhere that it feels simple, easy, and you can do an entire lesson just on that that's just luxurious, but today just use your best to find where is that place for me. As you reach this time, you're going to begin to rotate the entire long shaft of the arm so that the thumb goes towards your feet and the palm goes out away from your body. When you lower the shoulder blade, you're going to let the elbow bend a little bit and the hand is going to come a little bit towards your face, just a hair. Reaching, rotating away, palm away, thumb towards the feet, lowering, palm comes towards the hand. You could even look at it. Reaching, lowering. This rotation, it's very important. It does not occur at the elbow. Some people hyperextend easily in the elbow and they'll do it only in the lower arm. It's really the entire shaft. It's even the shoulder blade. It's even the collarbone. If you bring your hand up now to touch the collarbone, you'll feel, I think, you can be able to feel how the collarbone is not just moving forward now as it was before, but it's actually rotating, pivoting a little bit. Breathing is light, easy, uninterrupted. We don't even have to go for maximum here. This is like nice, simple, fine distinctions that we're making. Let it go. Let your arm come down. If you like, let your legs go long for a moment. And just pause and feel the changes that are already have occurred. It's pretty remarkable how quickly your body will adapt. And then bring each foot back up to standing again. Float the arm into the air. Let's try the opposite movement so that every time you reach, you rotate the palm in towards your head. And every time you lower, you rotate the palm away. And this one might feel more organized, easier, familiar to you than the other, or it could be that the first one felt much better to you. It's good to explore and kind of decide for yourself which one of these is more interesting, pleasurable for me. And of course, neither should cause any pain or discomfort. So if that's happening, please do much, much less. Even do it in your imagination. Maybe just get into the position and use your imagination to do the movement. And for me, it's the first one that's more pleasurable, so I'm going to go back to that one now. But you could continue with this one if you liked. Good, and then let it come down. Arm is resting. Legs can go long, as long as that's comfortable for you. Take a moment to let everything just settle. Follow your breath. Now, what's the difference now in that shoulder blade that you've been working with, in that arm that you've been working with compared to earlier? How is the size, the shape, and the contact of that shoulder blade? What's the way that the arm is lying, its distance from the body, or how the palm is turned? In fact, feel along that entire side, maybe even into the low back and the pelvis, the foot and the leg. You might feel like, wow, there is some really interesting, nice sensations there. And then compare that side to the other side that you didn't work with in a few key places to notice there's been a lot of change along one side. And now probably the other side is hungry to do it. And I'll let you do that for your other side as you're ready. You can use the tape, this video, you can just reverse it. For the moment, I'm going to come on up to sit. And just feel for myself the differences between those two sides. It's very lovely, very quick. And then you could lie back down and do the other side. This is a very small little tidbit of what you can get from a Feldenkrais Awareness through movement lessons. These lessons are normally 45 minutes, 60 minutes long. And if you want to have lasting change, you'll probably need to engage in longer lessons, either by Skype or video webinars, buying longer series, or even coming to a class. And all of those options are available through me. You can also contact a Feldenkrais practitioner closer to you. Enjoy, and when you're ready, lie down and do the other side.